What's up, people? We're going to check this flawed reasoning again. These pretendians, right? I'm calling them pretendians because they saying they don't have no African ancestry in them. All black people have African ancestry in them. In fact, all humans, when you dip into that blood, got African ancestry in them. So this is Sosalinha _ YT. Now, let's check his flawed thinking. This dude stay using these figurines, these brown figurines, to denote that these are the original people of America that have no connection to Africa at all. I don't know why people are believing what this dude is saying. I know he's a Dane Calloway cadet, you know what I'm saying? He's in the elementary school of Dane Calloway. I'm gonna show you right here how this dude is off, his flawed thinking. Okay, so he says, if we are really that desperate to degrade ourselves down to just a color, and this is what this dude is doing, by using these figurines to tell you have no African ancestry. He is using the color of the figurines to denote blackness in America that has no connection to Africa. That's flawed. Now, he says it would be different shades of brown, Indian red, not black. Okay. Okay. So this is the first picture that he has. Denoting black people in America. Then he goes here, right? He gives you brown color names. But this is where he fucks up, right? He gives you these colors of crayons. Okay, this reasoning is outdated. He goes here, and this is a true statement. We are not black as far as skin color is concerned, right? I'm not the color of my hat. But when it comes down to pigment in the skin, melanin, melanocytes, right? Neuromelanin, the pigment that is flowing through these organisms is black. You understand what I'm saying? It's denoted as black. All right. Color comes from vibration. Color comes from the electromagnetic spectrum. Do you understand that? So in a sense, really and actually, there are no colors. It's just light. You understand? We are light beings. Okay. When the sun, the electromagnetic rays, hits the atmosphere of the earth and bends around the atmosphere, right? This is where we see our color. So now he wants to go scientific with this, right? And this is where he's flawed. Okay. Okay. Is melanin black or brown? Now, I don't know where he got this from because this is wrong, right? It says microscopic appearance. Melanin is brown, non-refractal. Okay, non-refractal and finely granular, with individual granules having a diameter of less than 800 nanometers. This differentiates melanin from common blood breakdown pigments, which are large, chunky, and refractal, a range in color from green to yellow or red or brown. Now, this must be talking about melanin in animals, right? birds, reptiles, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, right? Because when it comes down to humans, there is no green pigment, right? The green in eyes is a mutation. The original color for eyes is brown, okay? So let's show how this dude is off. Now, he got the code, he got the correct code for melanin, okay? But this is Eu-Melanin, right? Melanin is just the base. There are 3 forms of melanin. There is Eu-Melanin, there is pheomelanin, and there's neuromelanin. You understand what I'm saying? So this code right here is not just melanin. It is Eu-Melanin. All right. So let's show this cat how he's off. All right. Because what he's stating is there, black is not in melanin at all. Okay. So let's look at. Okay. So I put in Eu-Melanin chemical formula. All right. There's the code right there, highlighted. Okay. Okay, so this is a scientific website here. All right. Now I hope it doesn't get too deep. I just want the basics of melanin. Okay. I believe this is just giving the scientific code. It's all right. Don't trip. We're going to get to it. It should be in here. All right, let's go somewhere else. It's all good. All right, let's do it like this. I'm going to put in different types of melanin. Okay, there we go. Eu-Melanin, pheomelanin, neuromelanin, like I said. All right. Let's go into biochemistry because we want the scientific information. In humans, melanin exists as 3 forms, like I said, right? He didn't even give you that. He's trying to break down how he's not black, right? Okay. But when you're talking about melanin, you're talking about cosmology, okay? You are talking about ingredients that come from the sun, okay? You are talking about ingredients that come from the sun, okay? Eu-Melanin is CHON, right? That's carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, plus phosphorus, okay? Not in that order. He's talking about skin, but Eu-Melanin is cellular, all right? Now it says in humans, melanin exists as 3 forms. Eu-Melanin, which is subdivided further into black and brown forms. Pheomelanin and neuromelanin. Okay. So this dude, for the sake of bumping your head, is willing to give you false information to prove his point. Okay. Eu-Melanin and pheomelanin are produced in various amounts in the basal layer of the epidermis, with thin cells called melanocytes. So you know there are 7 layers to your skin, right? Melanocytes are the mature forms of melanoblasts. Okay. Mela from the Greek is black. Okay. It is packaged in small, round, membrane-bound organelles called melanosomes. Melanosomes are transported from melanocytes to neighboring keratinocytes via tentacle-like dendrite processes. Tentacle-like. You think about a neuron and the dendrites that come off a neuron. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like constellations. As above, so below. What's happening in the cosmos is happening in the cellular structure and the atomic structures in these formulas. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand your blackness, son. Right? Indian is a misnomer, just like African is a misnomer. You understand? You can't describe who black people are by saying they're an Indian or an African, okay? These are terms denoting who we are, described by straight-haired people. You dig what I'm saying? Described by straight-haired people. They are not describing who we are chemically. They're describing who we are by appearance. The same thing you're doing with those figurines. Okay? This is the base of knowledge right here. If you don't know this right here, you definitely don't know who you are. You understand what I'm saying? We talking about how the Most High created us. See, they never give you no knowledge on their culture and heritage. When it comes down to who African people are, it's broken down to a science. Okay, it's broken down to a science. I already did the science on this. We need this information right here. When you understand this chemical formula, CHON, then you understand black life. Life is black. You understand what I'm saying? Some believe that the sun is white, the sun is black. What you're seeing coming off of the sun through thermodynamics, right, is the light that it's producing. Okay? Now look, the first step of biosynthesis of both Eu-Melanin and pheomelanin begins the same way. Tyrosine is converted into, I'm going to say dopa because I'm not going to try to say that word, which requires tyrosine hydroxylase and tetradrobiopterin. I don't know what that is. You can look that up. As a cofactor, the enzyme tyrosinase then converts dopa into dopaquinone, which can follow a variety of pathways to form the Eu-Melanin or pheomelanin. Now, when you go into pheomelanin, it's a different chemical formula structure. You can see that it's a mutation. The primary stimulus for melanogenesis and subsequent melanosome production is UV radiation. Is UV radiation. Okay? They not understanding this, my people. When you look on a map and you look at North America, it is outside the prime zone of UV radiation. You understand what I'm saying? Which upregulates melanocyte production of pro-opiomelanocortin and its downstream products. Okay, alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone and adrenocorticotropic. Okay, that's how you know we come from the tropics. Adrenocorticotropic hormone ACH, the overall effect is to increase Eu-Melanin production. This is happening when the electromagnetic rays from the sun, from the Most High, right, hits the earth from the atmosphere, right? So we got electromagnetic rays constantly around the orb of the earth, right? Coloring, producing black people on the planet. When you get to pheomelanin, it's a mutation. So the mutation is not coming from the sun, it's coming from being outside of the sun rays. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever science, religion, myths, cultural myths, cult myths you want to add to that, when you start getting into the names of God and the Anunnaki and the thru and the white people's interpretation of angels and things of that nature, first we got to ask two things, right? Are we embellishing on the activity from the sun on the earth, right? And we create stories in order to socialize in groups as one organism? Or was there and is there highly conscious Eu-Melanin beings outside of our atmosphere that have traveled into our atmosphere and upgraded the hominid on the planet? You got to understand there's a natural growth that is taking place on the planet to create human beings. But when you go into these holy books, these so-called holy books, right? The last three being the monotheistic religious books, the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible, okay? These books, and you know these are consolidated books from older written scrolls on creation stories, a condensed version, right? These books state that humanoid type beings from outside of our atmosphere came into our atmosphere, right? And socialized and had intercourse with humans on this planet. Maybe they were hominid, maybe they weren't in human form, right? But that's what these books states. When you go back to the older books, you understand what I'm saying? The book of Coming Forth by Day, the Atrahasis, the Descent of Inanna, the Gilgamesh epics. You understand what I'm saying? When you look into the Bhagavad Gita, you know, and the various other Mahabharata, or however you say that name, the books of India. And you know, the Africans were in India before Indians became Indians. You understand what I'm saying? When you look at the mental dynamics and the creation stories of some of these ancient Africans, being able to tell you about the stars, being able to tell you about the intermingling with higher consciousness beings on this planet, and they're doing this without telescopes, then you understand, or you need to ask yourself, where is this higher consciousness coming from? Okay, we must understand that there cannot be no type of humanoid being or any type of animal on Earth or in any parts of the universe or in the multiverse without first, wherever that being is coming from, came after there was a sun and a solar system. What I'm saying is there's no solar systems without suns. There's no humanoid beings, aliens, whatever form they're in and whatever color they are. They're not existing without suns. Okay. It is the activity of the sun that became a whole lot of religious stories. You dig what I'm saying? Okay. UV radiation is what kicks off melanin and the production of melanin. All right. In its various forms, melanin fulfills a variety of biological functions, including skin and hair pigmentation and photoprotection of the skin and the eye. Okay. If there's no blackness in black people, right, when it comes down to being able to not just absorb UV radiation, right? You got a sun in your eyes are suns, right? Your eyes is what's taking in the electromagnetic radiation from the sun, and you see colors. If there's no blackness in you, then your pupil wouldn't be black. You understand what I'm saying? The eyes are very important to the human being. It's your eyes that's telling you what life is and what you think life is. Then we got to think about vibrations, right? We are atomic, we are cellular, and then we are the physical being. You know what I'm saying? With organs and systems in the body. So atoms relate to atoms. There's atoms inside the body. There's atoms within the earth. There's atoms within the sun. The atoms are coming from the sun. Right? You got your cellular level. And then you got your physical level. Pigmentation of the skin results from the accumulation of melanin-containing melanosomes in the basal layer of the epidermis. Differences in skin pigmentation result both from the relative ratio of Eu-Melanin, brown and black. Brown and black is the perfected being. Brown and black beings are the perfect star beings. We are star people. To pheomelanin, yellow and red. Okay? As well as the number of melanosomes within melanocytes. Pheomelanin accounts for the pinkish skin. Okay? Constituting the lips, nipples, vagina, and glands of the penis. Right? In general, lightly pigmented skin tends to contain melanocytes with clusters of 2 to 3 melanosomes, whereas darkly pigmented skin tends to contain individual melanosomes, which can melanize neighboring keratinocytes more readily. The overall melanin density correlates with the darkness of the skin. Okay? They say we all have the same amount of melanocytes in the body. Okay. So peep the science. When you look at a white person and you look at the black person, and it says the melanocytes are here for photo protection of the skin and eye, skin and hair pigmentation, but photo protection. Okay. So this science is like, you know what I'm saying, coming from the most high. This consciousness all is coming from the most high. No matter the ethnic race or color of the scientists, this they have to conclude this to be the truth. That means everybody gotta write this up the same type of way. Skin complexion, not just color. All right. skin complexion. And this is telling you, if you can understand this, that black people are the original people on the planet. Okay? It got to get a little bit deeper. Okay? Because they really don't break down hair structure. See, what goes along with this Eu-Melanin is 9 coily sun hair, afro hair, not straight hair, afro hair. And the various subdivisions of afro hair down to blonde straight. So what does it matter if you're an African or an Indian if you really know who you are solarly and cellularly? Anatomically. You understand what I'm saying? So when you get into the conversion of pheomelanin, right? Hair color is determined by the relative proportion of various forms of melanin. Black and brown hair results from varying degrees of black and brown Eu-Melanin. Blonde hair results from a small amount of brown Eu-Melanin in the absence of black Eu-Melanin. So in the absence of black Eu-Melanin, you get blonde hair. In the absence of Eu-Melanin, you get blonde hair. Red hair results from roughly equal amounts of pheomelanin as Eu-Melanin. Strawberry blonde hair results from brown Eu-Melanin in the presence of pheomelanin. So without that black Eu-Melanin, you ain't all the way black. So let's look at what he said. So let's relook at what he said. Look. There's no blackness in these colors. So what did the science say? That this would produce blonde. Without the black pigmentation. Okay? So all these colors, the reds, right? The browns alone with no black crayon in there, it's not going to produce an original sunbeam. You dig what I'm saying? See, now he got a brother on here with sun hair, okay? He got in here that the eye is brown, okay? Not black. So he not talking about the pupil. You got to understand, light is coming out of this pupil as well, like the sun going, it's got to go through the brownness. Within the brown is black pigmentation. You feel me? He got black hair and he's denoting the brown skin, okay? The black hair is a part of the Eu-Melanin. And you got to ask, why do we have this type of hair? What's inside of our solar bodies that kinks the hair like this? Some of these people be hating themselves, man, because they've been programmed. We've been programmed and whitewashed on the brain for so long that we not strong enough to understand who we are and stand on that. We got to be something else. Now in America, are black people just African? Nah, we African American. Just like the Europeans are European Americans. But before we all of that, man, we are solar earthly planetarians. So wherever we are is where the blackness is. Wherever we are, Africa is. By way of the cosmological photonic breakdown of Eu-Melanin. Now let's go into his information. Okay. Microscopic appearance, melanin is brown. Melanin is brown. All right. Then he offers at the bottom, right? There's no pheomelanin in here. There's no neuromelanin in here. Okay. This differentiates melanin from common blood breakdown pigments. What is he talking about? Or what is his write-up? Where did he get this from? Which are larger, chunky, and refractal and range in color from green to yellow or red brown. And you've seen a scientific write-up on Eu-Melanin, pheomelanin, and neuromelanin, right? And nowhere did it mention green. We talking about skin. We're not talking about feathers. Nowhere did it mention yellow. And man, y'all gotta stay clued up because some of these youngsters out here, just to prove a point, is trying to change the whole narrative. You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't come from an age where we dealt with this information. This information was kicked off in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, retained and regained in the 80s, and pushed through the 90s. They didn't go through the earlier stages of hip hop. Okay? So the information given, man, it's got to be in order, right? And the order was given. But unfortunately, some of these parents, to some of these newbies out here, right, who didn't have no conscious knowledge, you understand, didn't give knowledge in order and in sequence so it can be retained in the mind. Some of us who got this information in the 90s fell off. They got back in the streets or they started chasing females. You understand what I'm saying? Or they got locked in a bum relationship where, you know, they didn't say solar and divine. They didn't keep their mind on 9. They didn't stay with the righteousness. No matter what you do as a solar being, a sun being out here, you got to stand on who you really are. That's the only way you're going to retain natural rights. And natural rights don't have nothing to do with a signature. Natural rights don't have nothing to do with ethnic description on a birth certificate. Natural rights has everything to do with how you stand, how your mind works, and who you claim to be. Knowing you a child and daughter of the Most High, like every human being and mutated being on this planet. Rights of man cannot supersede heavenly, natural, God rights. What goes along with them natural? Breathing. Breathing is life. Freedom is life. But they got us living in a way where they make crime entertainment, and they make crime desirable. Right now they've changed hip hop, right? So you dumb down, and you dumb down your solar genetics to get you to think and to vibe in a particular type of way, lowly. They changed the music. They changed the vocabulary of the rhyme today. Okay? No black person in their right mind can say that hip hop is divine today. You can't say that. Hip hop today, it's not even hip hop. I wouldn't even call it hip hop. It's just death music. It is trap music. It's termination rap. Etiology, real nice science deals with origins and terminations. Sometimes you got to know when to terminate the program. And right now we are pushing the program. Not those that's coming from my generation. You know what I'm saying? The youngsters out here. But maybe they don't know no better. Everybody can say, hey, you know what? You should know the difference between right and wrong. Consciously and morally, we should all know the differences between right and wrong. Right? But when you ain't get your parents ain't get that knowledge, so they didn't pass down no good knowledge to you, you know what I'm saying? Social conduction and how you behave out here, right? The music is changed now. The music is destructive. You understand? And parents are not taking a stand and saying, hey, this music is trash, right? I don't listen to the music. You're not going to listen to the music and explain why it's trash. That the program, you hear it over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Your frequency and vibration becomes what you listening to. You become what you're listening to. So we don't have the parents out here saying, hey, you know what? That's trash. Don't listen to that. So the plan protocols that they set this plan and protocol 30 years ago. See, within the 50 years of hip hop, also, there's damn near like 30 years of COINTELPRO, of revamping, where they don't beat us anymore. They've joined us. You understand what I'm saying? If you can't beat them, join them. Now, dig that. Dig what I said. If they can't beat us anymore, they're willing to join us. Okay? Now, what happens globally when subdivisions of Eu-Melanin and human beings get this music? It's gonna hit the mutation a different type of way. And the mutation is not gonna do anything but push it harder. Back in the day when I was growing up, white people that act black, we didn't tolerate anybody acting black. You know what I'm saying? And you might ask, how do black people act? Right? I'm not just saying like we're separate from other ethnic races. It's just what I do, I know an Indian Hindu person doesn't do, right? A Mexican person doesn't do. You know what I'm saying? And this is all from getting up in the morning time, how you function, how you get dressed, your state of mind. You know what I'm saying? When you go outside in your neighborhood, how you socialize. We don't socialize like the other races. So acting black then was don't socialize with me, how I socialize like with my people. If you don't understand, right, the socialism. But see what they've done, okay, because I'm an MTV kid, is boom. They put it on TV. We pushed it. We put it on stage, right? Maybe being unaware that in us trying to get on, change our futures, you know what I'm saying? Drop these rhymes that once we let it go, especially not understanding them contracts, this is all Eu-Melanin. This is how you work for them. How you stay locked into the paradigm that they set. Not understanding them contracts, you know what I'm saying? We gave it to them. And now under multiple contracts of hip hop, laws and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with publishing, copyrights, what's right, what's yours, intellectual property, we've given that. We've given that away. In the 50 years of hip hop, no black person who created the rhyme style owns any percentages of hip hop unless it's connected to the hand that feeds. You know what I mean? This right here, that what this brother is doing, is old, man. It's old. In fact, I can give him some information that'll help him. This is old because we look like little children out here. You see, he want to deal with crayons. You know, we look like little children out here trying to talk to ourselves and tell each other who we are or who we are not. And while we go do it, you know what I'm saying? We'll use their mediums. We'll make the dopest videos now with the dopest intro, 10-minute, 30-minute, 7-hour, 11-hour movies. But what we won't do is stand on who we really are. Get the best information out here created that describes and let us know who we are, and utilize that to raise ourselves up. A spiritual man needs knowledge. When you tap into your spiritual, you are tapping into the cosmic radiation, the positive cosmic radiation of the sun. You are as you think. You are as you reason. I'm saying it's some brothers out here that's going outside and they straight thugging. Not enjoying life. Not enjoying the breath. You know what I'm saying? Not enjoying the fact that these brothers, these sisters out here, we are special people. And we sitting here still trying to define by way of skin color and not know what the hell we really talking about. We sit here trying to define instead of speaking about properly building, speaking about utilizing the positive forces of nature to build. At my age, I've listened to 30 years of us as black people, even through the Nation of Islam. I was a part of the Nation of Islam. All of these black organizations at one time I was a part of. When I mean a part of, I'm talking about inside. Being accounted for. Being responsible for. Things change over time, but you can't get away from the original rhyme. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, whenever you got your head cracked open, right? You opened your third eye and you are aware of yourself. If 10 years later from that, it's got to be the original rhyme. Even if the original rhyme is outdated, and that is the problem right now. Black consciousness is outdated. It hasn't been upgraded. So we're looking at it like it don't pay. And in order to get paid and get the bag, you got to be close to getting a body bag out here. And that's sad. That's shameful. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole disrespect on us. That we chasing what they created in order to get paid. There's no ownership. There's affiliation. That's cultish. Because when you break down the base theology, ideals of these media corporations, you got to go into religion. There's no man on the planet who doesn't have some form of religion, some form of following, some form of ritualistic mind on this planet. They've just changed the symbolism. You know what I'm saying? The original symbolism, our symbolism, has been taken and has been bent, changed, language changed, terms, names changed, our names changed, right? We the millions of years people. And you got to think about that. There's something special in that we was rocking hard for so long, right? That it had to be a change where we had to experience the bottoms. See, something had to have happened back in that time if we was on top and then we got to the point where we was experiencing the bottoms. And I think it goes something like this. We was looking at ourselves for so long, for so many thousands of years, right? And we forgot about our ancestors that left out of Africa. We didn't think about them no more. Even though you read that as a migration out of Africa, you got to think, right? These hominids are connected to family hominids. If you read on the hominid, right, that the brain tripled in size about 50,000 years ago. I want to say further back in time, but as far as the write-up, the neocortex expanded. That means language was introduced, perception was introduced, you know what I'm saying? Social complexities was introduced, right? Knowledge was introduced. So when these hominids migrated out of Africa, right? Some left, some stayed. We don't know how they left. We don't know if they was like, hey, pops, I'm out. I'm going to go travel out. Just like we do as human beings. Hey, I'm out the house. You know, I stay in one state. I'm going to school all the way across the United States. What you going for? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. To go see what's out there. To go grow my mind. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the hominids, you got to look at that as something that's kind of beautiful. We don't know the relationships between these hominids. But they are our ancestors based on how the evolution of human beings is being written about. You understand? We don't know if there was family structure. And these hominids, you know what I'm saying, after the growth in the Homo sapien all came back into Africa. So, you know, how do we lose power? Hey, man, these are some different looking motherfuckers out here now. And then there's intermingling and intercoursing. So original brown human beings mixing with the mutations. You can go into the Neanderthal and the Denovians and all of that stuff, but really when you just really want to break it down to complexion and skin color, the dark skins mixed in with the mutations. The mutations was the lighter skins, those that went outside of the sun zone with the Eu-Melanin, with the red, pinkish, brown, red, pinkish, you know what I'm saying? Skin complexion. You know, all of this to explain that you're a copper, right? Oh, I can't be black, I can't be African because I'm 1828 Webster's American. I got copper in me. And I've already broke this down, right? See, these are younger people, man, and we got to do due diligence on this, man. When you break down this information, we got to keep it going. So where's the copper come from? Is the copper connected to the blackness? So black must be African. So is copper connected to the African? Let's see, man. Now remember, it said tyrosine, right? You needed tyrosine in order to make this Eu-Melanin kick off, right? So let's see if this is. Tyrosinases are copper-containing proteins. They contain 2 type 3 copper atoms in their active site to shuttle electrons from the substrate to molecular oxygen, which is a terminal electron acceptor. So let's go. Tyrosinase and melanin.
According to Science Direct.
Okay, melanin is a complex polymer derived from the amino acid tyrosine. And when you see tyrosine, it'll break down the tyrosinase, right? Is a copper containing enzyme that's connected to Eu-Melanin. See? So, bro, you know what I'm saying? Stop misleading the people. It's all right to, you know what I'm saying, your ancestors came from the continent of Africa, like everybody's ancestors on this planet. It's okay to claim that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to claim your Native American side as well. But I'm gonna tell you something, you're not just a Native American or just an Indian, and your ancestors don't come from Africa. You understand what I'm saying? You're not just a Native American or an Indian in America, and you don't have no African American ancestry in you. Cut it out. So once again, this is another video, man, where I shut your stuff down, man, because you come in with that false information. You know what I'm saying? Aside from that, though, that's one thing I'm not with, is when I know something is true and I see it being bent, right? This is bent information. This flawed information that he's given because he's not really studying. He don't care to tell you who you really are. He cares to tell you who you look like. In that case, he is no different than the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, and the Brits, and the bum Brits that came over here and colonized through the English, you know what I'm saying, the English business. You dig what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm out. I hope this video helped, you know what I mean, to detect some of this flawed thinking out here. You dig what I'm saying? The showing us of the figurines, the brown figurines, it's just not enough. You know what I mean? Y'all have a good day. Out.